Hey guys, it's your girl Kizzy Rock, and yes, Kizzy Rock is my birth given name. Happy Wednesday, guys. I want to say hey to all my subscribers, new as well as season. I got a word for you. Tap in. Happy Wednesday, guys. So listen, your girl allergies is crazy right now. I'm sounding like a whole moose up over here. Please bear with me as I get through this recording. Guys, I have been trying to make different recordings with different downloads, and I just can't. I just can't. God will not allow me to get up off of wrath. I don't know why, right? I mean, I'm not questioning it, but I'm realizing that some of the other downloads was specifically for me, if you will, but he won't let me get up off of wrath. So I have a few things I want to say about that. That can be to those of you who are, this is your warning to pull back before you enter that time of wrath. This can be for those of you who are currently in it, or this can be for those of you who are trying to get in the way of it, meaning you're intervening when God. Okay, give me 1 second. But really quickly, what I want to say is this before I start with wrath. I want to say this really quickly because this came up in my spirit the minute I hit record. Guys, I promise you, every single time I hit record, the enemy is going to try to disturb me. Like, I'm a person, like when I'm speaking or if I'm focused, I need to be focused. I don't need any outside distractions. And every single morning, it's something. Please excuse my dog chewing this kibbles. This all ghetto right now. Okay, so oh my God. Lord, please give me the strength. I don't want to hit record over again. Woo! Those of you, those of us that God has given major promises to. Now, hear me, right? Because I'm not the chick that really go with like time frames, like God says this time, this time. I'm more of a season person. Like I can feel it in the season versus 3 days this and 5 days this, right? That's just me. That's just me. I feel like, and again, I could be wrong, getting where you fit in. I feel like it's not so much someone who was given a promise yesterday or last week. I feel more so, like, and it could be, just ride with me, ride with me. I feel that it's more so less for people who were given a promise a very long time ago. I mean, very long time ago. This could have been decades ago. But the promise was very, very profound. And that's a major promise now. It's like a major, almost like if you had three things God promised you, this particular promise was number one. It's number one out of the three. So he gave you this promise a long time ago. And as time went on, right, it hasn't manifested. Through God, you're in alignment to receive the manifestation. But now some of you guys, if you're not careful, you're going to come into agreement with the enemy in the sense of, you know what, maybe that was a familiar spirit, because if that was God, it would have happened long ago at this point. I think that was a familiar spirit. Maybe I just heard God wrong. I just need to go ahead and just release this thing so I can just go ahead and really be in quote unquote proper alignment to receive whatever it is that God wants now. It's a lie from the pits of, listen. Now, and again, this is not for everybody, right? Maybe some people did hear something wrong. Maybe it was their flesh. Maybe it was whatever. But if this is for you, you know that you know that you know God gave you some kind of promise. This thing, you wasn't even looking for this download. It dropped into your spirit. That's how you know it ain't you or your flesh. It dropped into your spirit about a thing, about a place, about a person, right? Get in where you fit in, get in where you fit in. And after all these years, after these decades, this thing have not left you one way or another. It may have not been always as profound for the last 10 years, but it never have left your spirit. But now all of a sudden now, the enemy is trying to get you to come into some type of agreement to release this thing because you're that close to it. Why do you think distractions are at 10 right now? Right? Like, transparent moment, honey. The distractions are distracted. Listen. Listen, right? It's a transparent moment, right? Woo! Let me just tell you, honey, right? But here's the key. The key is to remove the distractions at the end of the day, if we're going to just keep it real. But we're human. We slip. The key is, or the second key, number one key, remove the distractions. The second key, while you're working on trying to remove the distractions, pay very close attention to your convictions. This is going to require obedience over emotions, obedience over fun, obedience over comfortability, whatever you got going on, right? God is He don't want you to miss the promise. He needs you to get it. That's why he gave it to you so long ago, right? But he know what it is. He know the enemy is trying to get us so distracted to come out of agreement with the very promise that he promised us. Listen, people can say what they want to say. Never mind. Just pay attention to your convictions. He will convict you, right? And sometimes it's not even a conviction to say, don't do this. It's more so less about do this first, right? Or when you feel a heavy spirit, don't do that at all. Or like he's very strategic. He's very, very strategic. You just have to be obedient to your convictions. He's given you another route around the enemy because the enemy maybe have already figured out your blueprint. Maybe you spoke on it, right? Maybe you spoke on it. Maybe you came into an agreement with something. So now God have to get strategic and change that route. But you got to be so tapped in that you pay attention to these convictions when he's trying to get you to duck, dodge, maneuver, and so on, right? Okay, so back to wrath. Listen, guys. Okay, here's the thing. I feel as if what the download I received this morning, this wrath is so grand, so difficult. So because these are the people who he's sent warnings after warnings, convictions after convictions, prophets after prophets, chosen ones after chosen ones. It's all. It's, guys, I'm sure you hear all that ruckus. Please bear with me. The dog is crazy, I promise you. These are the people that their head is extremely hard, right? Because most of us, once we get convictions, right? It doesn't say that we get it right all the time. Let's keep it real. Let's be honest here, right? But most of us, once we hear God a couple of times, we know he's not playing, right? Because he comes at you in different ways. He's going to be sure you get it. So he's going to come through you. Every time you turn your TV on, it's going to be a specific message about whatever it is he's getting your attention about. He's going to send a random person to you. He's going to send some messages. He's going to be sure you get it because he don't want you to go through this season of wrath. So he's trying to work on you and wake you up now, right? Hoping that he can transform you without sending you through the wrath, hoping that he can transform you just through teaching you convictions, obedience, etc., etc. But most times we're not going to get it that way for whatever reason, for different reasons actually. But he's going to work with you, impress you like, listen, please straighten up. Right? I've been on you. I've been patient. I've been kind. Straighten up. So these are the people that he've been on their neck. But for some reason, whatever reason, they wouldn't listen. These individuals are going to lose everything that God has ever blessed them with. He's going to dry your entire season up. Any fruits, that can be financial, that can be people, that can be places, that can be opportunities, that can be the promised land. He's going to dry it up because this wrath, this download. See, you guys know, those of you who hear from God directly, my chosen ones, you hear, you have a direct line, right? Not to say you don't hear from prophets and things like that, but you have a direct line of how you hear from God in whatever way, right? Reading your word, downloads, nature, however you hear from God. I was going to say something else, but I guess I got to say this now. I was going to wait. Those of you who are getting in God's way, my empaths, my highly sensitive people, this is going to be a major, major struggle for us. Meaning, you know God is dealing with somebody because of their actions. It's no question, you know it, because you were one of the persons that he used to convict this person. You were one of the many sources that he used to try to help this person. But the person wouldn't even take bait with you. Maybe it's not the right. They wouldn't listen to you. So now you're seeing the consequences. Now you're seeing the wrath. But the problem is with us chosen folks, we're so sensitive and we're so like we want to save and help and heal. But would you stop, please? You know what? Satan, not today. You had to go in the room. We want to help. We want to save. We want to heal, right? That's just naturally in us. But when God tells you to move up out of his way, you better move, because you're going to feel some of the wrath because you're getting in God's way. This can look like your own children. And I know somebody just cringed right there. This can look like your own children who God may have to take through a season of wrath just to save their lives, right? He's telling you, move out of the way, because obviously what you're doing ain't working. Just trust me. But you keep putting your hands in it. You keep trying to say, listen, we're human, right? We're human. And you know how we empaths and chosen people love. We love deep, right? But you can literally be messing up somebody's season of transformation in order that's going to lead them, right, to the very way that God needs to use them, etc., or even just save them. You know, I was on TikTok the other day, and this gentleman had posted a video on, and I agree with him 120,000%. He posted the video, and he was saying that I don't want to like word it incorrectly, but I know he was saying Black people, the way our heart postures are set up for different reasons, right? We always want to save. We always want to coddle, blase. This shift that's going on right now with good versus evil, right? God is setting the stage for the chosen ones. God is setting the stage for many of us, right? I won't get too, because some people, move out God's way. Stop trying to coddle the very people who you couldn't find when we were being tortured, the very people who wouldn't even stand up and like speak up against certain things that has happened in the last several years. Now, all of a sudden, many of them are feeling this shift. Now it's like you want to join teams because you're now finally experiencing the hardships. You're now really seeing what we always went through. And what do we do as Black people? Come on over and join the team. Like, fine. That's just what we do. Our hearts are just set up like that. But this right here ain't the season for that. Oh, no. This ain't the season for that. And granted, it's definitely not all, right? But some have to, they're in the mix, right? So you're not, move up out of God's way. Let this shift happen. The first shall be last and the last shall be first. Let this shift happen and stop trying to save, heal, coddle, take in. Like, Stand with your peoples right now. Stand with the chosen ones. Let God deal with whoever he got to deal with in order for this get up out of God's way. This ain't the time for coddling. This ain't the time for understanding certain things that we can talk about that later. Right now is our time. Right now, God needs to do what God has to do for this shift to happen. Period. This wrath that's coming up for those of us who won't listen, the bad part about it is some people are already in this wrath. Right? There's a group of people, hopefully you can change your life or do whatever God is requiring of you before you enter the wrath. That would be the wise thing to do, right? But we're human, right? But the wise thing to do is to be obedient to whatever God has been convicting you about and working on you about, and just surrendering to the process of transformation or whatever. But then there's other people who've already made their head hard one too many times, and you're already in the wrath. And it may get worse. It may get worse. But if you're in it, here's some tips. Please, 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 please surrender. Meaning, don't fight against the grain, right? Don't go against the grain. Don't fight against the current. Whatever he's doing, let him do. Whatever he's removing, let him remove. All you can really do is throw your hands up and surrender. Once you're in that season of wrath, there is nothing you can do to change God's mind. The only thing you can do to shorten that storm potentially is to submit to the process of whatever it is that he's doing. No matter how uncomfortable it is, just submit to that process. Also, in the season of wrath, he will watch you like a hawk. Meaning there's going to be temptation of all sorts that come your way that's going to make it look like, well, if I do this, God wouldn't know about it. Honey, that's why you're in that season of wrath right now, because you thought God wouldn't know about it. Right? So the temptation will come up against you and press against you like, well, I might as well go back to doing this because I'm already in the season of wrath. Yeah, go ahead and dig yourself further in that wrath if you want. The temptation may look like, well, if I don't take this, if I don't do this, then I'm going to, like, how can I even get up out of this? He's watching you. He will always make a way. He's just trying to see, are you going to surrender and submit to this process and let him do what he want to do? Or if you're going to still keep doing whatever you want to do, right? Either you're going to trust him or you're going to keep digging yourself further in that season of wrath because you're not even getting the message. So why would you do the same things that got you in the season of wrath while you're in the season of wrath? The whole point of being in there is for God to transform you. So you got to submit and surrender to the process. And it's very, all caps, very uncomfortable. You will think God trying to take you out. And listen, I don't even mean to laugh because I just had a flashback. That's why I don't play right now. I don't play with people's feelings. I don't lie. Well, I'm human, so I don't lie. Like, I try my best because I know how God operates. You got to be very careful in this world how you handle people, especially a chosen person. You got to be very careful how you handle people. And you think because 5 years have passed and you got away with it, okay. Please get away out of here. Go someplace upstairs in the garage. Just go, please. Enough of you. You've been harassing me since I hit record. I got a trick for you tomorrow, though. You will feel like God is literally trying to take you out, or somebody's trying to take you out in that season of wrath. Honey, you'll feel your mind slipping. You will literally feel your mind slipping in your season of wrath. I only had one. And Lord, please, 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 woo, please, just convict me. Please convict me. I move on my convictions. Please just convict me if I'm trying to get myself someplace I ain't supposed to be. Because if you're in a season of wrath, again, only God knows how long you will be there. Because see, we all really, it's just about getting the message. It's really about, because see, once you receive the message on what he's doing, the message is going to clarify why you're behind is up even in there, right? Then the message will be, in addition, about what he's trying to do, right? In order to get you where he wants to take you. And you may not even see your promised land or like what's next. A lot of the times in the season of wrath, you don't even see what's next, honey. You're just trying to survive, right? You don't even know what's next. But then there's something he just won't let you give up on. I can't explain it, right? I know a lot of you guys know what I'm talking about because you've been there, right? But for me, it was finally getting to that point of full surrender. Like, okay, Lord, at this point, it's been 2 years. I've tried, right? I went against the current. Like, I went against the grain. You removed this person, this thing, that. What do you want? Please, just take it. What do you want? That's exactly where he wants you at. He wants you flat on your back. He wants you flat on your back. If not, you're human. You're going to try to. He needs you flat on your back. Tired. Can't even fight anymore if you wanted to. Like a boxer that knocked you out on the mat, honey. Just tired. With a peace of mind left. He's going to guard your mind. Don't get it twisted. He's going to guard your mind in that process, right? Because he needs you to use you once he gets you out of this thing. Once you seek the message and you fully surrender, there's a potential, right, that you will shorten that storm, and that storm will all of a sudden. And the blessing part about it is when the storm ends, it's like, boom, you go from the end of the wrath season to boom, major blessings. It's the craziest thing because you couldn't even see the due season. You couldn't see due season. You couldn't see the next level when you're in the actual storm. So when you're in it, you really feel like this is it. This is it. I've messed up and this is it for me. Life is over, right? And you don't even realize that you're about to enter the best season of your life, the season of abundance, etc., 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 etc. But the more you fight against it, the more you fail against the temptations, the more you still do everything that he's trying to get you not to do, you're going to keep digging yourself in a hole further and further and further into that season of wrath. So that's all I wanted to say. And then again, this is coming back up again. Please, guys, I know a lot of you here are like that because I'm like that. We want to help and save and heal the same people that God is punishing for afflicting us, afflicting other people, just not being grateful for whatever he's like. Move your hands and just ask for strength. Ask God for strength to help you stay out of it. If he needs you, and he'll let you know, right? He may give you a word or something maybe to give at a certain time. But if you don't hear from him, stay out the way because you're going to become part of that wrath, honey. You're going to get some residue. Listen, I got to go. But you guys have a great one. It's your girl, Kizzy Rock.